Hi, Mr. Crane here. This is day 5. We're now week 2 of our ACT Aspire strategies training. We have a new type of question here today. It actually is some of the same information from last week as far as the compounds. And if you read these first little blue and green up the top, it actually gives you some information, background information about what a compound is. This is a perfect example of that this science test in ACT is not a content test. It tells you the information. So if you read the information, you could get all you needed to know without ever having studied compounds. But we're not going to look at it. Remember, I said we want to do as much answering of the questions without having to look at the passages and see if we can answer as many of them as quickly as possible without doing that. And then eventually the questions will get harder and more detailed, and you'll have to read some of the passages, but right now we're trying to avoid reading the passages. So let's take a look at this thing right here. First thing we do when we come up to a question is what? Read the question. Let's find out what they want. So let's don't read anything at all. Ms. Silcox, it says, based on table 1, I know you don't like looking at my ear. Sorry, I like to lean. Based on table 1, one molecule of which of the following compounds contains a total of 8 atoms? So how would we figure that out? What do you think? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Adds up to 8, right? That's right. So if we look at this is the whole thing is called a molecule. So this whole thing right here is called a molecule. This is a molecule of ethane, molecule of butane, pentane, hexane, octane. So what Miss Silcox, if you didn't hear her, she said you would look at each molecule and you would add them up, add up the number of carbons, add up the number of hydrogens, and see which one of them totaled up to 8. So the first one is the one that totals up 8, right? So 2 and 6. So your answer is ethane. Perfect. Perfect. Let's go to the second one. We'll do the second one next. All right, y'all ready? Let's see, Braxton. All right, Braxton, you're going to do this next one, and that leaves Jackson with the third one. So let's look at this one here. So this one here, I do believe, if I remember, has nothing to do with what we just covered. So we're jumping to astronomy or astrophysics, okay? So let's look at this real quick. So we're not going to read anything about as much as we can. When we have to read, we will read. But right now, we're not going to read. So if you notice, I have 3 diagrams. So I got one right here. I have one right here. I have one right here. For you guys at home, you have one there. You have one there. I separated them in blue so that you could see that there were 3 easy ones. Question says, in figure 1, which of the following is closest to Jupiter? So first thing, Braxton, which figure do I need to look at? So do I need to look at Tycho Brahe? That's this guy right here. Do I need to look at his? No, this is figure 3. Do I need to look at Copernicus's? This is figure 2. So which one are we looking at? We're looking at the first one. So let's look at this. So the question says figure 1, which of the following is closest to Jupiter? So our choices are Sun, Moon, Mars, Venus. All right. So which one is closest to Jupiter? So out of that choices that it gave you, because you could have said Saturn or Mars, right? But Saturn was not an option. So Mars is your answer, right? So again, this is a perfect example. Have we read anything yet? We have taken, let's see, 2 questions per day last week. So that was 8 questions last week, and we're doing 3 now. So we're at 11 questions, and we still have yet to read any passages. That's what I need you to learn to do, okay? Do that as much as possible and read as a last resort, okay? Let's look at the next one. So you guys said Mars. Mars is the answer. Go to the next one. So Mr. Jackson, this is yours. Same diagrams, Jackson. Make sure you guys are answering these if you haven't already. Have you answered yours, Jackson? Yeah. Oh, you're so smart and so fast, and that's why you sometimes miss 5 points easy. Because you don't wait on me. Wait on me. Gosh. In the immortal in the immortal words of Napoleon Dynamite. Gosh, so stupid. All right, ready, Jackson? So, what's the first thing we do, Jackson? Look at the question and answer. All right, Jackson. So the question says, this is our last one, home students. According to Bra's interpretation, how many planets are in the universe? All right. So now we're looking at which one, Jackson? Bra. What's up, Bra? So we're looking at Bra's. Now, because we're looking at Bra's, how many, and according to Bra, now this is, go ahead and look at it, Mr. Braxton or Mr. Jackson, and tell me what you think your answer is. Home students, do the same. Look at it. Tell me what you think the answer is. How many planets are in this interpretation of this universe? Now, mind you, back then, this is around the probably about the 1400s, and this was the known universe. Okay, so you said 6. So let's look. So Mr. Jackson counted Jupiter 1, Saturn 2, Mercury 3, excuse me, Venus 4, Mars 5, Earth 6. Did you count the moon? Okay, you didn't count the moon. So if you would have answered 6, you would actually been wrong, correct? The very first, this is where we have to read a little part of the sentence. Go for it, mister. Go for it. There you go. So you do have to read the very first part. Earth is not a planet because it's a satellite of the Earth. That's right. So that reduces our number to 5. So everybody understand that? So we did have to read our first piece of information, but it was only the first sentence. And had you missed the very first part, you would have missed the question. Earth is not a planet. So in this type of situation where it gives you these options where it could be 3, could be 5, could be 7, could be 8, and you start counting up everything. So there could be 8 if they included sun as part of it. But we all know that sun is a star. We know that the moon is a satellite of Earth. So that eliminates those 2. And you're left with 5. All right. So Mr. Jackson, I think, said 6, correct? And 6 wasn't even an option. So that would help you out on that. All right. Good job. Thank you for playing. We will play again tomorrow.